Hey everyone, welcome to Rhymes with Play. I'm Seth Rosen. I'm a designer here at Klei working on Don't Starve Together.
And I'm Mark LaPrairie. I'm an engineer on the Don't Starve Together project. We're going to be showing a modified version of our PAX build that we showed off at PAX Prime this year. We're going to jump in and play with about 4 other players and give you a rundown on what's changed with Don't Starve Together and what you can expect with both the closed beta and the imminent release.
Yep, and we've got a few other folks from the office here playing at their desks, so we'll be playing and you'll see our view, but you'll see some other folks in the server as well. And we're just going to kind of be playing and answering questions. I've got a monitor awkwardly down to my left, so I'll be looking down there and trying to watch chat a little bit, trying to answer some questions, and I'll just kind of be like talking through as Mark plays and explaining some stuff you're seeing, all that kind of thing.
Looks like West Coast is representing. I don't know what that icon means.
So Lady Au Pair yelling about pants in the chat is actually my former QA lead at my old job, and she asked me to wear these yellow pants. I don't know if you can see them, but I'm wearing them.
So Seth, tell us what's different about what we're experiencing right now, because this looks like Don't Starve.
Yeah, so I mean, like, when you start the game, you spawn at basically a random location in the world. There's a bunch of spawn points scattered around the world. So your first few minutes will tend to be pretty isolated, but you probably can see in the top left corner and the top middle of the screen 2 willows in little colored circles with arrows pointing, and those are we call them player indicators, and it's basically to tell you where other players in the world are. For the PAX demo, we have them turned on at all time. Well, PAX and stream demo, we've got them turned on all the time, just so it's a little bit easier to find people. But ultimately, I don't think the beefloat talks, Mark.
I'm new to this game.
But ultimately, it'll be a little bit more restricted, so you have to like wander around and find a player, and then once you've seen them, they'll have like a little icon showing you where they are for a little while. Or we might end up adding like an item, like a beacon of some kind that you give to other players, and that's how you kind of keep track of other people. Yeah, so some of the people are noticing in the chat that you can have duplicate characters. I definitely understand where people are coming from when they are a little bit frustrated by that, but at the same time, like, we have a limited number of characters, and we're hoping that we can support larger numbers of players, and those two just can't jive at a certain point. Like, if you have a game with 16 players, there are going to be multiples of some things, and right now we're only able to support 4, but I mean, we've had internal tests at the office as many as like 15 people playing one server, so we're hoping that we can do that, and it's just like not really viable to say there can only be one Wilson or one Willow, whatever it might be. Plus, like, I think that a lot of people will be, at least at first, playing just with their friends. So if you want to have a server where you've got only one of each character, then you just talk to your friends and say, hey, I'm playing Wilson, please don't play Wilson, and you can just kind of house rule it in that way. But there also might be a situation where, like, you guys are friends and you talk about Don't Starve, and because of that you love the same character and you want to play the same character, and it's kind of crappy if the game restricts you from being able to do that. So we just kind of decided to let people handle it themselves.
Yeah, and so we're going to be closed beta signups are already live. They're at don'tstarvetogether.com.
Yes.
The signups went live, I think, yesterday.
Yep. Yesterday, probably around like noon or so. We've got like thousands of people signed up already, which is really exciting for us. It'll start pretty small, but we're hoping that we can ramp it up pretty quickly. At some point, it'll just be like floodgates are open. Everyone that wants to play can play. We don't really know what the timeline for that is, but keep your eyes peeled on your inbox, because once you've signed up, you'll just get an email at some point saying, hey, here's your code. And the way we're implementing it is it's going to be a separate SKU, a different like title that you download on Steam. And because of that, you don't actually need to own Don't Starve. So you can presumably, if you're interested in Don't Starve Together in the first place, you've played some Don't Starve, but maybe you have a friend who's been holding out playing Don't Starve until it's multiplayer, so they don't have to get Don't Starve in order to play the Don't Starve Together closed beta with you. So that's kind of cool.
I don't know if we've actually publicly said this, but I saw some discussion on the forums. We haven't exactly figured out the mechanism by which we're going to be delivering the keys.
Yeah.
But we do know that we want you to play with your friends when you get in the beta. So we're going to make sure it's groups of friends playing together.
Yeah.
And how we do that, we'll release details shortly. But basically, don't worry. If you get a key and your friends don't, there'll be some way for them to play. We'll figure that all out. The first we want to really push is like the Don't Starve experience.
Yep.
Playing 2 to 4 players with your friends. It's been kind of reported from the PAX build that this is sort of like a Lord of the Flies game where everyone's murdering everyone because they're strangers. And we're hoping to.
We're just evil friends.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Lord of the Flies, there's some new features related to PvP and players. What did you put in there, Seth? Care to explain that to our viewers?
What are you referring to? I actually don't know.
There's a new item.
What did I do?
There's a new item in the game.
Oh, the Telltale Heart?
Oh, there's another new item. We'll get the Telltale Heart.
What are you talking about?
Long pig.
Yeah. I don't because it's not a craftable thing. I don't think of it as an item. But in any case, when you die now, so first of all, a skeleton spawns at your death location, and other players can kind of inspect that skeleton and see how you died, which is kind of cool because it gives the world this sort of rich history. But one of the things that you drop, in addition to the rest of your inventory, is long pig, and what that is human meat. And it does fill your hunger up a little bit, but it also hurts your sanity quite a lot, and it hurts your health quite a lot. So I wouldn't really recommend eating it, but it's more there for consistency and a laugh than something we actually expect people to be engaging with.
You can also make jerky out of it.
You can make jerky out of it. You can make person jerky. Mm.
Oh no! Oh no! This game. Oh, I made an extra axe. What?
So some people in the chat were asking before about when the codes are coming. The first batch will be coming out probably in the next week and a half. But like I said, it'll start pretty small. After that, we'll be adding people in waves. We're not sure again how exactly quickly that's going to happen, but it will be happening, and we're hoping it'll be pretty fast.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to be answering questions throughout the stream here today. So feel free to ask them. We have the chat open right here. Lots of smiley face. Give a 10-pack. Okay. Referring to not to beer or anything like that.
I mean, if you want to send us a 10-pack of beer, that's fine.
Yeah, no, it's not. That's not the end of the world. So, where is everyone else?
So only one other person's in the game so far?
Yeah.
We should have 4 at some point. I think Vito, one of the other designer/programmer guys, who's just done an amazing job of getting this game, helping to get this game up and running. Obviously, everyone has been doing quite a lot, but he's going to join probably about halfway through. So I think for now we're just going to be 3. Surviving together and don't starve.
Yeah, so one of the new mechanics we put in with this is the ghost mechanic. I know you've talked a bit about that in your developer blog.
Yep.
But what's sort of the... we talked a bit about what the end goal might be with that. Do you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah. So actually, just quickly about the dev blog you mentioned. On our forums.kleientertainment.com. I think the link is on our the bottom left corner there. But I've been doing every few weeks these really pretty lengthy posts about kind of the process of making and designing Don't Starve Together, and kind of the problems we're grappling with. So if you're curious to get more into the kind of stuff that I've been talking about and Mark's been talking about, then check that out. But one of the big things that I've been talking about mostly in that post is the new ghost mechanic. And basically the idea there is you're out on an adventure or a survival endeavor with your friends, and one of you perishes. Kind of sucks if that's just the end of it. So the ghost is basically a downstate, similar to what you'd see in Left 4 Dead or Borderlands. So it basically, you become a ghost after you die. A timer starts ticking down as your life force is draining. Once your life force is all the way gone, then you completely die. Your ghost dissipates and while you're a ghost, you can haunt stuff. And basically, what haunting does is keeps the life force drain at bay very briefly. And everything in the world, almost everything in the world is hauntable. Uh, there are a couple exceptions, like other ghosts. Ghosts don't haunt ghosts. That's just ridiculous.
One of my favorite haunt reactions is if you're haunting enough trees. Like sometimes they'll light on fire, which can be catastrophic. But the best one is when you're by a friend, you haunt a tree and a tree guard
Yes,
spawns.
it's so good. Yeah, so they're like, as with everything in Don't Starve, like at best it's neutral or maybe slightly good, but there's always this looming threat of utter catastrophe. So we reinforce that with the haunting stuff.
Yeah. And it's also kind of fun watching players battle the larger monsters. Seth obviously was the designer on one of the designers on Reign of Giants.
Yep.
And so he's no stranger to giant monsters to fight. And that's been sort of one of my favorite things to watch is how a team of 2 to 4 people fight these guys in ways that we never really planned to do.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it's gonna be really cool to see like those sort of group efforts. Once people are playing. Some people were yelling about touching the stone. So actually, I was talking about the ghosts a second ago, and because we changed the way that your like resurrection and death flow goes, you actually don't touch the touchstones while you're alive now. Instead, once you're a ghost, you can go find a touchstone and haunt it, and that will actually resurrect you at that point. So you can't interact with the touchstones until you're a ghost. And the same applies with the meat effigies. And then the last way you can get resurrected is if a living player gives you a new item that you can craft called the Telltale Heart, and we'll hopefully show that up, maybe even soon. If Mark's going after this willow here.
Well, this willow has the Chester eye bone.
Oh yeah,
and
no, you want that?
Oh no, they have a better weapon.
Yeah, the tentacle spike. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, it's clear that they're giving me a little leeway because I'm streaming, but that's what I was aiming for.
Some other folks were asking about the max player count. I mentioned briefly before, but again, right now we can definitely support 4 stably. We've had some internal tests with more players, up as many as like 15 people in a server. So we're doing some investigation into whether we can have those larger servers. And Mark is actually like basically the guy responsible for all that kind of stuff. So I don't know if you want to talk more about that.
Yeah, I mean, like from a technical point of view, having all these larger servers, we're almost there. The problem comes from, I guess, more so the design, like figuring out how to make it fun with that many people, with that much randomness. People create a lot of chaos. Like one person with Willow's lighter can do a lot of damage to a world. So. Yeah. I mean, we've looked at like how to keep the worlds persistent. That's one of the other things we've been playing with. The idea that you might have a dedicated server that keeps running even when your player dies. The world keeps ticking by, and if you have that, now you have this. All of a sudden, you have this idea that the economy can't run out. Like we can't run out of flint,
right? And
then nobody can have an axe. The game becomes unplayable. So there's a lot of really daunting tasks to achieve that sort of drop in, drop out, persistent world. We're looking at them, and I'm hoping we get them because I think that'd be really fun for me, anyways, to play with a lot of strangers, all holding crazy weapons.
Yeah, I mean, like the very first, very first test we did in the office was Mark and Vito basically spent a little while and clobbered together something where you could literally only play Don't Starve online. Like there was nothing else there. You could be in the world and all kinds of stuff didn't work. But we all got in there and everyone spawned with a weapon and it's just this hilarious free-for-all. And not that that's how everyone would be playing in that kind of scenario, but it was definitely cool to just have so many agents of chaos present.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we've got a lot of thinking about what Don't Starve is going to be, and I know we're actively looking at the forums in the community for feedback. I mean, what we're hearing right now from people is they want to play with their friends or they want to play with their spouse, that kind of thing. So we're kind of making that game first, but I'm open to doing some crazy stuff. So
yeah, we definitely want to look into making a variety of modes. Our priority is to truly just allow people to play Don't Starve together, but we recognize that that's not how everyone wants to play Don't Starve together.
Yeah. Oh, and I gotta clear this up because I was trying to kill a willow and I wasn't succeeding. We've nerfed PvP for the PAX build.
Yes.
we actually did a tournament at PAX where we had, I don't know, maybe 30, 35 people, something like that, playing Don't Starve. And the last person who lived in each game got to go to the next round. So in the first round, people were hunting each other down and doing all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun.
Although in the later rounds, like, people pretty quickly realize that it is pretty easy to just run away.
Yeah.
Because, like, almost all the weapons in Don't Starve are melee weapons. So it was interesting to see those, like, evolving strategies over the course of the tournament.
Actually, a couple guys that were fighting, they had their torches, and it was in the dead of night, and they would flick their torches on and off
Yeah,
so
I
they could
saw that.
sneak up in the dark and surprise the other
It
person.
was so good.
Yeah.
Oh, you need a torch, my friend.
Oh my god.
You got a lighter. You got Willow's lighter. All right.
Willow gave me her lighter.
Thank God. So someone, like, I don't know if you noticed before, I think Willow inspected Wilson, and she said that Wilson looks shifty. So like everything in Don't Starve, you can inspect other players, and your character will have something to say about it. And we're actually doing... Oh, hey! There's a Willow ghost. Unfortunately, I don't think you have the spider gland you need to make the telltale heart.
Yeah, that ghost.
Maybe you need to go... Yeah, that ghost might be toast.
Yeah, so...
Ghost toast.
Oh, ghost jokes. Apparently that's a thing, ghost jokes.
Ghost jokes is definitely a thing in our weird office. So yeah, there's the telltale heart. You can see it. Mark's hovering over it. We don't have the spider gland we need, so maybe we'll... I don't know if that Willow's going to live long enough. If they keep haunting, then... yeah, let that Willow know that they just need to, like, haunt constantly so they can stay alive, and we can maybe go hunt a spider.
I'm bad at typing.
So yeah, you both need food and to find spiders.
So, Seth, help me out here. Where we got the spiders at?
So, I think if you head south, there's some spiders down there.
Oh,
This is
okay.
the same map that we had at PAX,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I don't think that Willow is going to give me any of her food. Oh, they found the touchstone.
Oh yeah, okay, cool. But we should try and go get a spider gland if we can, so that next time someone dies, we can
Bring it back. It might
use
be
that telltale heart.
I might be next. I'm not doing so good.
Yeah.
My traps are all the way over there. I'm never going to make it.
You might be... Where are your traps? Up north?
Yeah, they're all the way over here. I
No,
want to get
go,
spiders.
It'll be fine, probably.
Probably. Let's go move. I think. Yeah. Okay, Seth. We're gonna go for this. We'll see how you tuned rabbit meat. Find out in a second.
Yeah. So that's actually a good point. We haven't really done any tuning yet. Like it's still basically all the Don't Starve stats. And we will be kind of looking at that stuff at some point and making sure that it's all still appropriate for multiplayer. People are asking about sleeping. I'll get to that in a second, but I just wanted to finish what I was saying about, like, inspecting other players. So we actually track some stuff about, like, if this player has attacked other players, or if they've killed other players, if they've resurrected other players. So if that Willow had inspected our Wilson before we had attacked someone, that she would have just said, "Hello, Wilson." But because we had taken a couple swings at someone, she said that Wilson looks shifty. So we're trying to, like, do as much as we can to kind of bring that sort of history and narrative to the world, because I think that's one of the coolest things about the persistent... is that long pig?
Yeah, I'm getting desperate, so I'm gonna eat some long pig. I found it on the floor.
It's gonna hurt you, Mark.
Just a little bit.
All right.
Okay, we're good again. Go get spiders.
Yeah. So sleeping, obviously, like, for those of you who are familiar with Don't Starve, you know that when you go to sleep in Don't Starve, it kind of fades to black and fast forwards time a little bit. But when there are other people in the game, you can't do that because they need to keep playing. So basically what we do is when you go to sleep, you lie down as normal, and we turn off the Gru or Charlie, the thing that hurts you in the dark, so that you can lie there in safety and darkness. And while you're sleeping, basically your hunger drops faster and your sanity recharges. And because it's like over time thing instead of like a sleep transaction, you can actually like start moving or click somewhere, and that'll wake your character up. So you have a little bit more granular control over how long you stay asleep for.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's sleeping.
That's sleeping for you guys.
Maybe you've tried it in real life.
Yeah. Well, once we get the beta out, we'll all have a little sleep. We'll be good. Yeah. Speaking of that, you know, we're gonna let in the first participants. I think I don't know if we've announced that or
We haven't
before I
said
said.
this. I mean, we've always kind of said like roughly when it was going to be. I think next Monday is when we're going to be sending out the first ones.
Yeah, and
But like I mean, again, like it's going to be just a few people, so
yeah,
the majority of you watching will not be getting a code on Monday.
yes, and the people that keep emailing me soon, but
Yeah.
maybe not Monday.
Hey, spiders.
Yeah.
Are you gonna try and burn it out of them?
I'm hoping so. I don't have a lot of health to fight them.
That's true.
I'm
You also don't have a lot of health to stand near fires.
well, I forgot I'm not Willow. Oh, they just fell asleep. Are you serious?
Oh, spider gland.
Yes. Oh, pile ash.
All right. Oh god. Okay, so that's a bug. You were slowed down there. I guess the spider creep didn't clear out after the nest got wiped.
Yes.
So you want to get back to your friends ASAP. So when you die and drop your inventory, they can pick it up and make a telltale heart.
I don't.
So they're off. They're
My
off the
spider
left.
my spider gland is some ashes, so I
Oh.
don't think they can help me out here. Oh, here we go.
You're fully screwed.
Yeah, no, I picked it up. Come on, eat it. Yeah.
Not this coming Monday, by the way. A week from Monday. Yeah. Again, if you want to sign up for the beta, don't starvetogether.com. Just need to fill out a few things, and there's some spiders. Just kind of fill out that form, and we'll email you eventually with a code. So Mark's been using global chat. We also have a whisper, which, as you can see, it only says the text above his head.
That's really useful for when you're plotting little raids on other people.
Yeah. So, like, basically, only people that can see you on their screen will see what you say that way.
So, well, before we get too much further in, we had a couple announcements. Jan gave me these
here.
here.
I'll read through these.
While I try to survive, because it's not looking good for me.
It seems like you're just about done. So the first thing is the closed beta registration, which we already mentioned. Don'tStarveTogether.com. Sign up now. It'll be rolling we'll be rolling it out to people slowly but surely. So get in now, so you don't have to worry about it. You'll get an email at some point. So we ran on a Kickstarter for a little while ago for a Chester plush, which are really, really awesome. And those are going to be hitting our online store on Tuesday, September 16th. I believe it's store.kleientertainment.com. And we're also actually going to have some snow chesters, which is a like alternate version of Chester that you can sort of morph him into, that we added along with the Kickstarter to the actual game. And then there's snow chester plushes to go along with it. We have a very limited number of them left. We only made, I think, like 250 at all, and that's all that will ever exist. So if you want to get a snow chester, you want to hit the store on Tuesday, September 16th and buy it immediately. And then the last thing that's going to be coming to the store is the Beefalo plush, which you've seen possibly if you've been at PAX or PAX East. We don't know exactly when that's going to be coming yet, but sometime soon. We'll have more information later on this month. If you want to sort of keep on top of that, the best way to do that is probably to sign up for our newsletter on our website. I believe you can access that sign up for that newsletter both on don'tstarvegame.com and kleientertainment.com. That's our news.
I don't know if you guys have seen the the Beefalo's here.
So this is
strategic.
The Beefalo
oh my
plush.
god!
Good call. So this is the Beefalo plush. It's pretty darn cute. It's extremely soft. And then we've got the Chester plush here, and he comes with a little eye bone as well. And then you can see on the table behind us as well some Don't Starve figures. They're blind boxes. We sell those on our store. They're really, really high quality. They look awesome. But yeah, they're blind boxes, so when you get a box, you don't know which character you're going to get. Each one comes with one character, one sort of like inventory item type thing that or little like doodad that is associated with that character in some way, and then one other random little item.
Let's maybe take a couple of questions since
Yeah.
I'm sure we got enough people here now.
Yeah. I'll
Or
just kind of be watching chat for a little while.
Sounds good.
So if you guys have questions, throw them out. I'll try and catch some. Don't do it all at once, though.
Yeah, I swear when we played in the office before, we were a little more successful than this. Like,
well, we were all like sitting in the same place, so we could coordinate better.
yeah, so I mean, that's one thing we're really looking at. Like, we showed the global chat, the local chat, but it's really trying to figure out how we want to do communication. Maybe it's VoIP. There's all these different options, and we're just trying to figure out what fits in the multiplayer and fits in Don't Starve.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear some ideas on that because, okay, here we go. I got poop and petals and monster meat. What can I make? Chat, go.
You can make a garland.
That will not feed me.
Oh, you already have a garland.
Yeah,
make another one.
But I got a crock pot. I can make something tasty.
You can't make anything with those ingredients. People were asking if it's free. Don't Starve Together is going to be a free expansion for Don't Starve. So if you own Don't Starve, when this thing is finally done, it will just appear in your game. People were asking about West talking. He's still a mime. That's not going to change. People asked about adventure mode. We will be adding it at some point. We don't know when.
Yeah, because adventure mode, the whole idea of like questing with your friends is like that. I'm super into that.
Yeah, that's something we're definitely excited about. We're just focused now on like getting everything up and running. I mean, this is still a relatively stripped down version of Don't Starve, and as compared to like the Don't Starve Giants edition that just came out on Vita with like Don't Starve and Reign of Giants and adventure mode and caves and all that. So right now, like we don't have caves, we don't have Reign of Giants yet, we don't have adventure mode, but we will be adding all that stuff. So yeah, that I think I'm seeing some people asking about Reign of Giants, so we will be supporting it again. We just don't know when.
Yeah, I mean, Reign of Giants, I don't know for sure what we're going to do, but the end goal is to make sure everybody can still play with everybody. Like, it's super annoying if you can't join in a game with your friends just because you didn't buy a DLC pack. So I know that's one of our goals. It's just not implemented yet.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, chat, I need help. I'm not good at this.
What you need?
I got some seeds.
You need some health. Go. Actually, kill that bee.
Oh yeah, like I'm gonna say.
No, not with your lighter, dude.
Okay, I got a
an
pitchfork.
axe, right?
Is an axe better?
I mean, a pitchfork is the same. That's fine.
Okay, this is the bee.
Kill this bee. He might drop some honey. That'll get you some health back.
Oh no, there was a lot.
Oh. Yeah, that's the one thing is that it'll spawn some killer bees around you.
Yeah, when I was teaching people to play Don't Starve at PAX, and that was the most common error was hitting a beehive.
And then just getting swarmed.
Yeah.
There you go. You can get some. Keep fertilizing it. You can do it multiple times.
What's the limit there?
Well, it just keeps growing it.
Oh, it's just like
so. The limit is when it's grown, which it is not.
I'm not doing so good.
You can eat the petals as well. Your flower petals.
Are they? Oh yeah.
Yeah, they give you a little bit of health. They don't fill your hunger, but they give you some health back. So we're getting a lot of questions about like finicky little things like the teleportato and Maxwell's door and mods and all that kind of stuff. Things that just like are part of the game, but are sort of hard to resolve in a multiplayer context, and like that's a lot of what's been difficult about this. Well, difficult for me as a designer. Like for Mark and the programming team, we're only 5 people, by the way. It's myself, Mark, 2 other programmers, and 1 artist. For them, like they've had a lot of technical issues to grapple with along the lines of like networking and just like making things propagate properly, make sure everyone's experiencing the same game, all that kind of stuff. But for me as a designer, most of the things that I've been having to solve are more along the lines of like how does sleeping work, like how are mods gonna, I mean that's also a technical problem. Like we are going to be supporting mods. We don't know exactly what that looks like yet, or when it'll come online, but it's just like kind of result like, okay, so teleportato, normally you can just find all these pieces and then reset the world anytime you want, but if there's other players in that world and maybe they're offline when you are doing that, like does that make sense? Should we allow that? Is that only open to the server host? or is that like a server console thing that happens, or is like these are questions that we do not yet have answers for, but we will definitely be answering at some point. Hey, we got another Wilson here. All right.
No, now we got a wicker bottom here, actually.
Oh.
Oh, there's
No,
a Wilson
just
and a
joined the
wicker
game.
bottom.
Yeah.
And I found a
Maybe someone
revive.
died and. Oh, good timing, dying.
Yeah, I've been systematically hunting down the touchstones. There will be none left by the end of this stream.
Yes. Some people asking if if they'll be able to stream the closed beta. Absolutely, we encourage it. In fact, we want you to. There's not going to be any NDA. So if you get into the closed beta, make YouTube videos, stream it on Twitch, share, like invite your friends over, have them watch. If you can stand to let them play. Yeah, like we are super excited about people sharing this thing as basically in any way they want to, within reason, naturally.
Yeah, I mean, I think, at the end of the day, we might ask nicely, hey, could you tell people that it's not done yet?
Yes. That is the one caveat. Like, if you are streaming and making a Let's Play on YouTube, like, you know that it's closed beta, but the people watching might not, so...
Yeah.
We would appreciate it if you just kind of, like, say, hey, this isn't done, there's going to be bugs, etc., etc.
So yeah, just kind of on the subject of things you have to design around. My goal, or my job at Klei is to make all the design constraints and problems for Seth to deal with.
It's really hard to design if you don't have any parameters, so I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Do you have a lighter still?
I don't know.
Do you have a torch?
Yeah, I have a lighter. I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
You gotta watch the clock!
Wilson died doing what he loved.
Yeah, so that's an example of the like skeleton expect. Well, I'm gonna be working a little bit more on making that read a little bit more naturally, but that's what it is for now.
So we also have a new fog of war system. So in single player, you would always, whatever you saw is what was really there.
Yeah.
In multiplayer, I actually don't know if the world looks like this anymore. In fact, somebody could have burnt down this forest and removed all those trees or terraformed it. We don't actually know that about the world, so it kind of goes in this darker gray, sort of like StarCraft Brood War, that kind of analog. Seth is thinking the stream has reached its pinnacle here, so he's pulling out a fan favorite.
So Letter W is a real big fan of this fact, and I just saw her yelling at me in chat because I was drinking from a water bottle, not a potato. So this all stems from an interview I did a few months ago on N4G, and one of I think the last interview question in there was something along the lines of like, if you were in a don't starve situation in real life, like how would you survive? And I was like, like first things first, like shelter, forage for food, etc., etc. And then I told this little anecdote about a camp I went to when I was, I think, like probably 12 or so. It was a wilderness camp, and it was like an overnight camp, but it was very much focused on like hiking and like shot rifles, and made this knife. So yeah, I made the sheath for it and fashioned the handle, and then they gave me the blade. And I glued it all together. And then the last night of that camp, there's a survival night, and basically what that was a few different levels of it, and I picked a level where I think I was allowed like 2 layers of clothing. I got a tarp, 3 feet of twine, 2 raw hot dogs, 2 raw potatoes, and because I had made this knife that month, this knife. And flint and steel. So things that I learned that night. Picking berries for dinner is an extremely slow process, and you're not going to get full. It's actually pretty hard to make a fire with flint and steel, even though I had practiced it previously. And hot dogs that haven't been recooked, because hot dogs do come pre-cooked, are pretty much just salami. And potatoes are really, really gross when they haven't been cooked. Don't recommend eating an uncooked potato. It's very starchy. Before I get to the potato cup part, some people have been asking about controller support. It doesn't work right now. We will be adding it at some point. And on that note, there will not be local multiplayer, like 2 people on the same machine. As with anything, who knows about the future, but we have no plans for it currently. The biggest obstacle to controller support, honestly, besides just like Vito going through and making it work, is figuring out how chat works in that space. But back to the potato cup. So after I ate the first potato, unhappily, I was like, I don't really want to do that again, and I am thirsty. I'm not really enjoying kneeling down and sticking my face in this stream. So why don't we take this knife? I think that I've sharpened this thing since that camp, actually, so this will be interesting. Let me get the bowl before I go to town on this thing.
And this was planned. Seth really wanted to do this.
I wanted to make the potato cup.
He didn't just have the.
I mean, I do usually carry a single potato around, but
just in case.
Yeah, I mean, you never know when you need a potato cup.
So I'm gonna
Yeah,
click on the stream. I want to see the stream here. See if we got that's what they're seeing right now. So if you want to make sure if you want to see somebody lose their thumb on Twitch stream, here you go.
That might be about to happen. I haven't done this in like 14 years, so I don't really remember what my tactic was.
What do you drink out of your potato cup?
Water.
Water, of course.
Yeah. I mean, if I had time, I would make something more exciting out of the potato that I take out of this cup, but I mean, the stream's only an hour long, so we're just going to do water.
Okay. Let's see, take a look at chat while he does this. Wow. Okay, no, still awesome. That's an interesting fact. I'm not going to repeat it, but that was... There you go. It's okay.
Yep, no, that doesn't need to be said. I think I know exactly what you're talking about there.
I see, so I can't read your name, but why not take a cup? That seems like an option.
Because that was not one of the things I was allowed to take. Yeah, maybe we'll make some potato cups. Okay. You know what? I'm just going to say that that's my cup for today.
No, I saw some artist renditions of what your potato cup would look like. I feel like, they were hoping for something.
All right. I'll keep working on this thing.
Yeah, thank you.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna cut the top of this off just because I think that I need to get a little bit better angle on it. But while I'm continuing to do this, and actually this knife is pretty dull. It's sharp enough for a potato, but I'm not really in any danger for anyone concerned.
2 developers, 1 cup.
1 potato cup, please.
Yeah.
It's
great.
different.
Great.
Ugh, God, I immediately regret this now.
I'm glad we started.
Chat censorship's the thing that's been asked about.
Which censorship?
Chat censorship?
Oh,
that's your domain.
Right.
What do you think,
so,
Mark?
Basically, it's gonna be a local option. If you want, if you got kids playing this game, that kind of stuff, and you don't want to hear, because chat's open, we're not gonna do like swear word censoring, because people just come up with more creative swear words.
Or use like other random characters.
They'll beat whatever we do. So we'll give you the option to just disable chat and maybe make them say a random saying, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to do like the emotes, like the Hearthstone thing. I don't know if
we absolutely are.
Oh my god.
I just have to figure out what the input system for that is.
Right.
Nabia, our artist and animator, has already done a bunch of cool animations for it. So we will have emotes, and they'll be like animated things where like it's a wave, not like Hearthstone speech things. It's gonna be like
you're gonna be doing dances and stuff. So when you kill somebody, you can dance on them or whatever the case may be.
I mean, it's only polite.
Yeah.
God, this is way harder than I remember.
So I just received a question. Basically, how are we gonna do right now? Don't Starve is PC, Mac, Linux. We're gonna do the beta, I think, on PC first.
Yes, PC only initially.
But we plan all 3 and cross support between all 3. We're looking at PlayStation now, trying to figure out how that would work. We would love to do PlayStation.
Yes.
And if possible, cross support would be awesome. I don't know what those constraints are.
That's a big unknown.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's something we would love to do, but
yeah, we want. One of the things I like is just keep all the barriers down. Oh my God, guys, light a fire!
They're yelling at me to eat some potatoes. So there you go. You're happy.
The story started that potatoes were bad to eat.
No, that's terrible.
Would you do anything the stream tells you?
No, not any. A tiny piece of starchy potato is one thing. Ugh. Do you want a piece of potato, Mark?
No, you know what?
I'm selling it, I know.
You're selling it. Let's see. Suck that potato.
Not gonna do that. I'll eat a piece of potato. I'm not gonna suck the potato.
Chocobo. I don't know what that means.
So, getting some questions about unique items for characters. So for this demo, or for the PAX demo and this build, as you probably noticed, like, Mark as Wilson has been using Willow's lighter, and that we just decided to do that because for people who weren't familiar with Don't Starve, it was going to be really confusing to like see an item on the ground and after having been able to pick up a whole bunch of stuff, not be able to pick up that item. So we just kind of said, you know what, everyone can use everyone's item. We're not sure exactly how we're going to solve it yet. It might be a thing where it's just like, it's bound to you, and when that character dies, it just kind of goes poof. Because we don't want to end up, because the world is persistent, we don't want to end up with a situation where it's just like, flooded with willow lighters because like hundreds of willows have died in that world. Like that just basically deteriorates the game over time, and that's something we are trying to avoid as best as possible.
Just noticed we have quite a few viewers now, so I'm gonna just reiterate for any of you who don't know what's going on. This is Don't Starve Together. It's a free update for Don't Starve, a single-player game that's been out for quite a while now. It's available on Steam for PC, Mac, Linux. It's actually just came out on Vita September 2nd, and
Yeah.
The Vita port's probably my favorite version of the game right now. It's awesome.
It's actually cross-buy with PS4, so if you have it on PS4, you'll get the Vita version for free, and vice versa.
Do you have to own Reign of Giants on?
You do not.
Okay, you just own the base game you get.
Yep. So it's actually a great way to check out Reign of Giants if you own both a PS4 and a Vita and don't yet own Reign of Giants. So, cup complete. I think it's a pretty good cup.
It's a cup.
It's a cup anyway. It's made of potato. I'm going to put some water in it, then I'm going to drink out of it. And then we're going to stop this shenanigans.
Yeah, I think that will certainly put an end to it, Seth. I think this is it. No one's going to ever bring up the potato cup
water.
Again. How is it?
It's starchy. It's starchy water now. Want a sip?
No.
It's fine.
I'm good.
I'm going to finish it, though. I did this to myself.
Drink.
Yep, that's plenty of that.
All right.
Yep. Gonna have some regular water now.
We can move on. So, how long have we been streaming for?
Let's see. What time is it?
Chat. What time is it? Let's see if
it's about 4:15. We got about 15 minutes left, which actually probably means. Oh god. Okay. Let's try and get.
QA. So it just said the end of times are coming.
Okay, so you got probably 5 minutes left?
Yeah, we have about 5 minutes. I'm just going to give a quick rundown of what's going to happen. I won't tell you what's going to happen necessarily. Just this is what the tournament build we did at PAX. So when people were playing, this is the motivator to find out who really could survive the longest, because they were really good at surviving.
Yep.
So go ahead with your... Sorry, I interrupted you there.
No, I was just going to say, like, we should try and get a spider gland so we can show that off.
Okay.
Anyone got one? The Vita version, I wouldn't swear by it. I think it's $15. It might be $19. It's one of those two numbers.
I think it's 15 when I picked it up, yeah.
Yeah. Mark knows. He's bought it.
I didn't figure out. I'm sure there was a way I could have got it for free, but it's such a good game I chose to buy it anyways.
Oh, thanks, Mark.
Yeah.
Gee golly, Reign of Giants sure is fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not biased. Not even a little bit.
Actually, the worst thing that happened when we were at PAX is it started raining, and Seth was complaining about it, and I kept thinking, this is the guy that made Reign of Giants with the seasons that punish everyone so brutally. I
did do that.
I got turned around.
People are asking about chess being private. Right now, all of the structures are public, including chess, so everyone can use them. We're probably going to be adding a separate chest that basically has like a key or something, so you can have some private storage. Yeah, there we go. Jan's got the right answer for us. $14.99.
Yeah.
US dollars.
Sorry, I lied to you guys. It's one extra.
It's embarrassing that you said that number after I had no idea.
Yeah. And, you know, we're looking at lots of things like large world support. That's one thing we've been playing around with, and we talked a bit about the idea that the worlds are pretty much too small right now to support more than 4 players.
Yep.
And that's where that Lord of the Flies thing comes in, where we're trying so hard to just eat and live that you end up having to kill other people for resources. There we go. 13.99 in the Europe. In the Europe.
So one other thing about like how you can play, we have support for dedicated servers, for hosted like host client servers, and for LAN servers. So you can do all of those. We are looking at hosting some of our own dedicated servers, but you'll be able to set up your own as well.
Yeah, so it's supposed to be, okay, we're gonna die. It's supposed to be as easy as possible. Like, if you're just playing with a friend, you're gonna click create game, and you're the server. Everyone just joins to you, and that's just how it kind of works. You don't have to figure out a dedicated server or any of this mumbo jumbo. Your friend just joins your game, and that's that. We're also going to have these persistent worlds, these dedicated servers that we're going to give you the client to run that, and we'll run some ourselves. And basically, you can drop in and drop out, and that's more of the community experience. That's where you're going to meet new friends and don't starve.
Your team is really not helping you out.
Yeah. I'm going to at least kill a spider, but I'm not going to use the spider gland on them. I'm just going to show them the item. My team,
Are you now? It happens. Is there a touchstone nearby? There might be one off to the right.
Off to the right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we seeded the map with extra touchstones because I'm bad. Oh, there's my spider gland! Oh, but I don't have any rope now.
Your body's right back over there. You got it.
No,
oh god, the dogs of war.
I put it in the chest. Okay, but I got the spider gland.
Alright. You're probably not going to see the telltale heart, but it's rad. It exists.
Yeah. Way to trust me to...
So, yeah, there's a lot of hounds. So people were asking about hound waves. It is going to be a similar thing to this, where just, like, hounds spawn for each player. Oh, there goes Wicker Bottom.
Yeah, Wicker Bottom was not very good at this.
Oh, God, and now the meteors.
It happens. Oh! Yeah, this is also one of the things, without having figured out how we make a persistent world continue, we had to make a way to restart the server, and this is what we're at so far. It's also
this is a great war. Oh my god.
Haunt some things.
Yeah, haunt this war.
Yeah, so I guess
you're a spooky ghost.
Our ghosts all okay. Well, we're over now. Our ghosts all have unique art. They all look different. Oh, not that one.
Nope, we're still here. Don't worry.
If you guys have never tuned into this cast before, it's every Thursday,
Mark.
Every Thursday at 3:30, and we show off a different game at Klei.
Past few weeks, James and Jamie. James is one of the designers on Invisible Ink, and Jamie is our boss and kind of helps out on all the games because he's a massive lord. We're showing off Invisible Ink. I'm sure they'll be back with that sometime soon. We will be back with Don't Starve Together. I don't know exactly when, but we're going to be doing this every week. It's an hour long, and it's always kind of this format where we play the game, talk about it, answer questions, that kind of thing. So we've got about 10 minutes left, so we're just going to do some straight Q&A now.
Yes. Why don't you go pull up some questions there, and I'll get this going, too.
As I'm reading, again, what we're showing here today is Don't Starve Together. It's the free multiplayer expansion for Don't Starve. The closed beta registration is open. Check out don'tstarvetogether.com for that. Beefaloes will be hitting the store soon. Store.kleientertainment.com. Chester's on September 16th.
Right.
There will be a very limited number of snow chesters, which are the white plush version of that. So if you want those, get in there real fast.
So I got a question.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see if I can get it. Sinister Pixel asks, how does Insanity work? You got that?
Basically the same way as it works in the single player. Your character has a sanity level, and it affects your character when you go insane. Sanity monsters start spawning. If you are insane and there is another insane player near you, you will see the sanity monsters that spawn for them, and you can both attack that sanity monster. So it is sort of like if there are sanity monsters and you are insane, you can see it. And that's basically it.
Will people who doesn't have the game be able to access the closed beta at all?
Fat little Timo, asking if you need to own Don't Starve to play in the Don't Starve Together closed beta, and you do not, but you do need to have a Steam account because we're distributing it through Steam.
I got this one.
So register, you'll get access eventually. You don't need Don't Starve, although owning Don't Starve will give you access to all of the characters. We're going to have a limited set for people who don't own it.
The question of anti-cheat came up. What are we doing for anti-cheats? Basically, the server is authoritative, so the clients can't really cheat. They just get a view of the game, and so they don't have the ability to spawn things. They can't go into their console and type things. They don't see the rest of the map. It's not really there. So it's just a very limited set of information. If somebody were to write a hack, it would be very limited to what they could actually do.
Yep. Some people were asking about the caves. They don't exist right now. We're going to be adding them at some point. Mark, do you have any thoughts as to how you're going to implement that?
Yeah. We're pretty much there for caves. We're just looking at just haven't done it kind of thing. Caves are going to probably behave the same way. Like you can have somebody in the overworld while the other players are in the caves. We won't limit you guys to staying on the same plane. That's probably the tech for adventure mode as well, that your friends don't have to be with you. We're just making sure that doesn't slow down the server, that kind of thing. And then it will be in.
Yep. What else? Someone was asking, I didn't see your name, sorry, about spawning. You spawn scattered. We might add a server option to have everyone spawn in the same place. You highlighted a question there?
Left for Scout. No, actually, Codwing. Oh, I lost it now. It was a good one. I swear.
Well,
what are our thoughts about PvP and ranged weapons? PvP during the tournament was kind of interesting. We never designed it to actually work with other players. And so people were getting out before the animation and the hit could play. So actually, once they figured out the PvP system, it was pretty hard to actually hit anybody.
Yep.
And then the ranged weapons, some are like instant hit, and there's no chance to dodge. So they all need a little reworking. My favorite weapon in PvP right now is the boomerang, because you can throw it at somebody, and if they're quick enough, they can click on it and catch it and throw it back at you. And
yeah, that is always cool to see. And that wasn't something that we especially did. It was just because of the way that thing is made. It's just a thing that's possible, which is cool. Some people were asking about Chesters. Right now, there's only one. We probably won't be changing that. Maybe for very large worlds, we'd be increasing the number of it. Also saw some questions about new characters. That's definitely something we're thinking about. We don't know when that's going to happen, but we will be adding some new content at some point, probably.
Governor Explosion says, how long estimated for the Mac port, and do you accept fan art? The Mac port, we already have the game running on Linux. Like our dedicated server can run on Windows or Linux right now. We haven't tested on Mac, but it's hopefully the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just we don't want to support the bugs right out the gate. So when the game becomes a little more stable, we'll just push the Mac build then.
Yeah. And then as for fan art, yeah, we love seeing fan art. It always gets passed around the office. Everyone is always excited to see it. We've seen some really awesome stuff. And we feel the same way about like cosplay and everything like that. So that's all good.
Divinev says, will time stop if no one is playing on the server? I'm not sure.
I would like it too, but we haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, when's that going to happen?
I think that's a task I had, but then I was like, I don't know if I want it to stop. And then I just never did it. So.
I feel pretty strongly that it should, mainly for Reign of Giants, because in Reign of Giants, there's the whole withering and wildfire mechanic. So if you leave a Reign of Giants server running, then you could definitely get into a situation where just no one was around, so it burns down. Although we can also make it so that those things only happen in your player. They do only happen in your players, but the point stands. It's sort of weird for it to just continue if there's it's the tree falls in the wood question, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of the questions will get answered when we start actually putting large numbers of players into the game. We have an idea what we think is fun, but I don't know if it's true or not. So it's really when players start playing the closed beta, we're going to take their feedback really seriously and try to make a game that everyone actually enjoys.
Yep.
Because there's more design challenges than what we talked about here to making multiplayer work, and we don't really know what those design problems are yet.
Snadgeper014, butchered that. I'm sure there's a right way to pronounce that, but he was asking about private servers. Absolutely, definitely. yeah, you can make a server and make it passworded and only give that password to your friends, so you can guarantee that you're only playing with your friends, and at least insofar as you trust your friends, it will be cooperative. But there will also be public games that you can join and kind of take your chances on how people are going to behave.
How do meteor showers work? By Livid Jaffa Cake. Meteor showers are right now they're just a toy. Like it was just to end the stream. It would be really cool if they came into the game
Yeah,
in
I
some
mean,
meaningful way.
they're super cool. Like that was something that got made for like a mod that one of our other designers made ages ago.
Mhm.
But it's awesome. So I'm gonna try and find a way to work it into the actual game. But for now, it's just like a thing that we have for demo builds when we reset the server.
Oh, here's a good one. I can't say your name as well, but umbrellas. How are they going to work with two people? Can somebody else go under your umbrella? I love that. Come on, design that in.
Yes, probably. It's actually probably mostly going to be a performance question.
Yeah.
Because the way that that has to be implemented is like you're constantly doing a radius check anytime you have an umbrella out and checking if there's a player there, which is potentially performance intensive. It's probably fine because it's just like if there are a lot of players with a lot of umbrellas, that's might be a problem. So yeah, that's a cool idea. I would love to do that. We'll see.
You have a nice sweater.
Thank you.
I didn't know we were wearing sweaters.
Well,
I
am.
would have for sure worn a Christmas
You want to
sweater.
wear my sweater?
No, I don't want your potato cup and I don't
Yeah.
want your sweater.
You don't love me, Mark.
Okay, well, at least I see now you have a shirt under your sweater,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it'd
no.
be okay.
In fact, it's a Don't Starve shirt. No, I wasn't just gonna take my shirt off on the stream. That's not appropriate. This is a professional environment with potato cups.
I see questions about modded servers. The server can run anything it wants already. You can mod it up. It might be differentiate. We might differentiate servers that play vanilla versus mods. How the client to server mod thing works, like how does the client get any client side art that the mod needs? We haven't figured that out just yet, but we're looking at it. We love modders and we want to support you guys.
Don't Starve Player 123 says you have a nice shirt, Mark.
Well, thank you. I did
So
not I did not iron it.
It's true. You didn't do too badly, even though it's not a sweater.
Yeah.
Um,
So actually, I see a question. Will we learn more about the backstories of other characters? One thing I like about having all the different interactions with the characters is we can start putting in a little more content about those characters in their interactions. So like the way WX talks to another character or examines their skeleton reveals a little bit more about WX.
Yeah. So there will at least be that kind of stuff. We're not quite sure yet what our specific plans for any lore expansion are yet, but who knows?
Will there be more than one Chester per world? There's no reason not to, except if design says nope. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll see. I do kind of like the scarcity of it, but it also kind of depends on how large the world is and how many players there are. Like in a 4-player game, one Chester isn't such a big deal, but in a 16-player game, that's pretty rough.
Here's a Lily Waters 84 says, will GOG.com be getting this update for multiplayer? So this is the standalone build, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing the beta through Steam only. Anybody who has the GOG build, I'm pretty sure they can get a Steam key. Is that?
Oh yeah. You do happen to own Don't Starve, but you do not need to own Don't Starve on Steam in order to play Don't Starve Together's beta. You just need to get a code from us and sign up for a Steam account if you don't have one when you get the code.
And that's don'tstarvetogether.com to sign up for the betas.
Yeah, I mean that's about us out of time. So I think we'll cut it off there with that last final plug for the beta registration. But thank you so much for joining us. Again, I'm Seth Rosen, designer on Don't Starve Together.
And I'm Mark LaPrairie, engineer on Don't Starve Together.
And we'll see you soon.